Hello, Moonbeams. Welcome back to my channel, Mystic Moon School. I am Donna XO, and I am your astrology guide. And I thought I would come on here, test out this little cameo so you can see me for a few minutes. I just wanted to welcome you back to this episode. It's going to be a big week. We have the new moon in Scorpio coming up. And I'm going to get into all of those energies and where it's showing up in your chart based on your rising sign. But I did want to come on here and share a couple of things with you guys. What did I do with my... Okay, here it is. So let's see. Oh, well, welcome. And if you are new here, please like and share this video if it resonates for you. Please subscribe to the channel. It really does help me so much with the algorithms on YouTube. It helps other people find this content, and it helps grow our community as well. So give it a thumbs up. Leave me a comment if anything resonates here for you today. And share with somebody who might also benefit from this information, who would really be into it. Okay. And then, oh yes, so this Wednesday night, you can join me live on Zoom to discuss this new moon in Scorpio coming up and where it is showing up in your chart. And so even though I go through this in this YouTube podcast, we can talk about it live together. So if that interests you, it's very reasonably priced. I really am trying to build community here. And so you can hop on over to my website, register for that. You'll get the Zoom link. It's easy peasy. And you can talk with me personally about, where this is showing up in your chart this week and how do we navigate those energies? What may be coming up for you? What area of life is this showing up for you? And how do we best work with these energies for our growth, to keep a positive mindset, to, really work with the energies in a very conscious way, and also just connect with each other. So I would love to see you on Moon Zoom on Wednesday night. That's at 7 p.m. Eastern time, and we can go anywhere from an hour to an hour and a half depending on how many people show up. So I'd love to see you there if that interests you. Okay, and if you'd like to work with me one-on-one, hop over to my website. I offer many different types of chart readings, all on Zoom. They're very in-depth, an hour and a half to 2 hours, and then I record it so you get that recording. You download it to your laptop, your computer. You have it forever to review, to process. And I offer holistic coaching sessions, conscious children, chart readings for parents, so much. So hop on over there if you'd like to work with me one-on-one. And I have a couple of freebies on my website. One I've created is a guide to living by the moon phases. And so that you can just download for free, print it out. It's really pretty. It takes you through the main 8 moon phases each and every month. You will use this every single month, and you will be able to work with the moon phases, being able to really honor a cyclical energy, a cyclical lifestyle, so that there are times in the month where you're really going to feel more active and motivated. And then there are times in the month where you're going to really need to go within and maybe rest more. And with that, I'd also like to share that my calendar, how do I get it on the screen? My calendar is now available on my website, and this is for 2025. So I have here, as you will see, I've tweaked them a little bit. But I have for each month the kitty cats or the dogs that represent each of the 12 zodiac signs. And then what I also have here is I have put in, I know it's very hard to see on this screen, but what I've put in for each and every month are all 8 moon phases, the new moon, what sign it's in, and the full moon, what sign it's in. And so this is a really beautiful, thick paper. I also have an affirmation for you for each and every month. So we have that right there at the top. And so this will combine beautifully with this guide to living by the moon phases, because you can look at the calendar, right? And you can see, oh, on March 3rd, we have the waxing crescent moon. And then you look to my guide and you see what those energies are all about. So you really can work with this energy very intentionally. It's all here for you in the calendar. And I just love these doggies and these kitty cats. They're just so precious. They just put a smile on my face. I hope they put a smile on your face too. And so you can get this, you can order this now from my website. And so this is print on demand. So I would say give it about 2 weeks to arrive. So if you would like to buy this beautiful calendar for a holiday gift for anyone, now's the time to do it, because it does take about 1.5 weeks to 2 weeks to get to you, because they are printing these one by one and shipping them directly to you. So give it about 1.5 weeks to 2 weeks to arrive, but it would make a great gift for yourself or an astrology lover in your life, someone who wants to work with the moon phases, someone who loves kitty cats and dogs. Yeah. Okay, so thank you for all your patience on all of these homework items. We are going to get into this podcast now. We are having the new moon in Scorpio on November 1st, and I am calling this the Big Purge. Emotions, fears, truths, all coming up from the depths to be illuminated, okay? So, you know what? I am just distracting myself too much here, so I think I'm going to turn off this camera if I possibly can. Oops, that did not work. Let's see, can I go back? Well, it's okay. We're going to start with this card reading anyway. But I think what I'll do is I will just cover up my camera, because it's a little distracting for me as I'm recording this video. So we're just going to blur that out. So now I'm less self-conscious, and now I can really focus on the content. Okay, so basically this is a big purge. Okay, and what does that mean? For me, purging means that we are unearthing aspects of ourselves from the depths of our being, from our subconscious, from emotional places that we have possibly repressed, that we've been in denial about, we just haven't been wanting to face. This can be emotional because Scorpio is a water sign. And so we could be purging emotions. We could be feeling more emotional this week because there are things coming up to the surface that are ready. They're ready for us to see them. They're ready for us to process them. They are ready for us to release them, really. And so this purge could feel emotional for you. As I said, Scorpio is water sign. That is our emotions. And we have a lot of water happening in this chart at this new moon. So I want to share with you that besides a new moon, which is always about new beginnings, right? But what do I always say? I always say that a new moon and a full moon are like the swinging door in a restaurant that is always opening and closing, right? And so the new beginnings and the endings are happening simultaneously in every moment, really, truly. And so this is a new moon in Scorpio. And so there will be a purging because Scorpio goes down deep. Scorpio feels deeply. Scorpio wants to unearth truth, wants to understand the why behind whatever is happening, whatever is coming up. Scorpio lives in the depths, and so this new moon, remember, the new moon is dark in the sky. We cannot see her. And so when this is happening in the sign of Scorpio, I feel that we are really going within. This is a very internal moon. This is a very private moon. This is a solitary experience. And so if you can be open this week to what is coming up from the depths of your heart, of your psyche, of your life's experiences. This may be coming up in your dream state. This may be coming up just during the day. This may be coming up for you emotionally just from experiences that are happening in your waking life. And so you may feel as if you are being triggered to old pain, old wounding. And if that is your experience this week, then please know that you're right on time and this is happening for you so that you can release it, so you can see it, so you can make the connections, so you can understand things from a higher perspective. Because remember, Scorpio has 3 iterations. The Scorpion, that is the earthly 3D experience where we are often caught in our fears. We are hiding. The Scorpion hides in that little dark cave so as not to be perpetrated. But the fears keep Scorpion in that darkness, very paralyzed, not able to move and grow. And so when the Scorpion comes out into the light, it may be defensive. It may, if it can come out into the light long enough, it will see the fears. And once that happens, if you're able to process them, if you're able to be accountable, if you are able to work with what is coming up for you that is uncomfortable, that is making you feel some kind of way emotionally, then the Scorpion is able to transcend those fears and alchemizes them and becomes the eagle. And when Scorpio is in its eagle state, then you are able to be and see everything from a higher perspective, the eagle's eye view, right? And you can see why things happened the way that they did, why things had to play out a certain way, the wounding, the pain, the sadness, the grief. How are you able to transmute that into growth? How are you able to move into love and compassion for yourself and all involved? And once you are able to move into that energy, then Scorpio transmutes and transcends again. Because now you're able to burn down that version of yourself, literally into ashes. That version of yourself that was in the wounding, that faced the trauma, that had to go through those difficult experiences. Because you are able to now have forgiveness, because you are able to now see that experience from a higher perspective and see what it was all about for your soul's growth. Now you are able to burn down a layer of that wounding, of that trauma, of that version of yourself, and you transcend it. You become the magnificent firebird, the phoenix rising, You are a completely new version of yourself, a gorgeous, beautiful new version, ready to experience life from a new place, a new perspective, and a new vibration of who you are now. And so these are the many facets of the Scorpion energy, of the Scorpio energy. So at this new moon, you may be experiencing any of these 3 levels. You may be unearthing more fears. I mean, I've already been in that this past week. A lot has come up for me, and I tend to feel the energies about a week and a half out from the new and full moon. So I absolutely, was purging more, feeling more emotional. And so you may be feeling those energies. You may be moving and feeling the eagle energies. You may be at the Phoenix level this week. You may be going through all of it. Just be open to whatever you're moving through because it's right on time. That's what I always say. And so I did pull cards again this week. And the 2 cards that came out, the first one, well, they kind of came out together, but the one that I turned over first was the full moon in Leo, and the message is don't let pride get in your way. And immediately when I saw that card, I heard the word ego death, or the phrase ego death. And so many of us out there this week with this new moon in Scorpio, fears are equal to ego. The ego wants to keep us safe. The ego wants to keep us in our familiar patterns because that's what the ego knows. That's what the ego can control. Whether or not it's for our highest and best good doesn't really matter to the ego. I often will think of the ego as the helicopter or the overprotective parent that just wants to be able to control everything. But that is not allowing the child to grow, right? Let's keep everyone safe. Let's keep everything secure. Let's keep everything predictable. But there's no growth there. In fact, there's stagnancy when we are held in our fear vibration. And so that ego death is often painful because it's scary and we don't know what's next. But what this card is asking us is guiding us towards, remember, it's a full moon in Leo card. So release the ego's hold. Release the fears that are keeping you stuck and stagnant, that are not allowing you to grow. Pride is, one of those 7 deadly sins, and really all of the 7 deadly sins, quote unquote, are all under the umbrella of fear. And so when pride gets in our way, then we are in a fear vibration. And so, as I was saying, the ego works with all of those energies because the ego just wants to control everything and keep us, quote unquote, safe, but there's no growth there. So don't let pride get in your way this week in whatever way that may be showing up for you. It doesn't necessarily have to be specifically pride as we know it. It could be. But really, I think the bigger message from this card is just allow the ego death to happen. Allow the humility, allow the humbling, allow a higher perspective to come in. Face whatever fears are coming up, because that's your indication of the ego kind of being really loud. Whatever fears may be coming up for you this week, just face them and ask yourself, how true is this? Is this the only possible outcome? And if you're able to do that, if you're able to kind of debunk your fear, remember the acronym for fear is false evidence appearing real. It's not truth. And so put the fear aside. Don't let it run your mind. Don't let it dictate your decisions. Just recognize the fear for what it is. It's trying to keep you safe, but you can speak to your fear and you can say, you know what, it's okay. I get it. I know why you're afraid, but I'm not. And I'm the one driving the car right now. So just sit in the back seat and play with the iPad. I'm driving. I've got this. So you can focus on the road ahead. Okay, because the second card that came out is the waxing moon, which is perfect because that's what happens after a new moon. The moon begins to wax because now she's moving further away from the sun, so she starts to gain her light. We start to see her in the sky again. And so the energy is gaining momentum. Yes, if you're able to face whatever fears, whatever limitations is coming up for you this week, release them, purge them, see the truth, not the fear. You're going to be able to step into a newness, a building energy, a new momentum, a new motivation, a new inspiration, whatever that is for you. Okay, so those are the cards for the week. And now I'm going to get into the forecast for the week. And I want to discuss, before we get into, I have Aries up here on the screen, but before we get into the individual signs, I want to talk to you about the general energies for this new moon and for the Grand Trine in water that is happening at this new moon. So I've gone into the Scorpio energies for the new moon, but what the other really big thing that's happening this week at the new moon is that we have a Grand Trine in water. So, as I mentioned earlier, water is our emotions. So, this is really, I want to say, flooding us with a lot of emotion this week. Now, the signs that, the planets that are affected, or that are, I should really say, that are the players in this Grand Trine, are Mercury, which is going to be at 28 degrees of Scorpio. So now Mercury is the planet of our mind, of our human mind, really. Mercury is the messenger of the gods. Mercury is how we think, how we communicate, how we learn, how we process things mentally. And when Mercury is in the sign of Scorpio, just as I said earlier, Scorpio goes deep. Scorpio unearths the truth. Scorpio does not want to sit around and communicate and talk about the weather. Okay, Mercury and Scorpio will sit down with the friend and literally just go totally deep and be like, so let's talk about our trauma. Okay, that is Mercury and Scorpio. It is not like, so, what did you eat last night for dinner? Or, oh, can you believe this weather this week? That is not Mercury and Scorpio. Mercury and Scorpio wants to get to the bottom of things. They want to investigate. They want to unearth the truth. They want to delve into the shadow and the fear. They are not afraid of going there. Mercury wants to know. They want to know. They want to understand the why in Scorpio. And so this may be affecting you on a personal level, but this could also be on the world stage. Okay, we could be seeing truths unearthed this week on the world stage. Whatever that means, right? Politically, environmentally, in anyone who captures, the collective on some level, on a big level like that, we could be seeing the truths come out. So that's one point of the trine. The next point of the trine is Mars at 29 degrees of Cancer. Mars has been here. This energy has been building since last week. Mars is directly opposite Pluto at this new moon. Pluto in Capricorn at 29 degrees. 29 degrees is a crisis point. Like, I can't really even sugarcoat that, okay? So on the world stage, there could be tremendous chaos. There could be violence. There could be corruption and any manner of darkness revealed, unearthed again. Remember, all of this is a purging, because whatever lives in the shadows has power there, because it's from an unconscious place and we can't see it, so how can we work with it? So if things are being revealed or things are coming to the surface, it's so that we can process it. It's so that we can see the truth and so that we can make changes. So this could be happening on a personal level for you in your life, but it can absolutely be happening on the world stage. And I can't not address the fact that this new moon in Scorpio, with this Grand Trine in water, with Mars opposing Scorpio at the 29th critical degree, this is happening right before the U.S. presidential election. And I am not going to get into an analysis of that. What I will say is that we need to stay centered in our heart space. We need to stay centered in our own truth, in our own peace within us. Because whatever may transpire at this election, okay, we have to trust in the higher perspective of it all. Now, it doesn't mean that we may not have some human emotions if something happens at this election. Something is going to happen at this election. And what I mean by that is that this is not going to be a simple election where there's an election and we know who won that evening and it's just done. It's just not, okay? There's no astrologer out there who is saying that. In fact, they are going to all great lengths to discuss this election and all the possible manifestations from, the chaotic to the tragic. And I am not going there, okay? Because the astrology is potent and it is truthful, but it cannot predict, absolute outcomes. And the reason for that is because we are creating our reality in every single moment. There are there are infinite potentialities that can play out, and we as individuals and we as collective humanity are creating a reality in every single moment. And so what I want to say is drop into your heart space. Send love out into this world. Send peace. Trust in a higher power. Trust that whatever transpires, we are going to grow. That there is a higher plan for humanity, not just ourselves. And we have to trust in God, the universe, source, whatever you want to call it. And we need to not drop into fear. That is the most important thing that I can say. And believe me, I'm saying it to myself every single day. Okay? Because I know that I can easily fall into the catastrophe, the fear mindset. I'm human. But I do not want to feed that energy. I do not want to add to that energy that's already out in the world. What I want to do is drop into my heart space. I want to drop into my love and my compassion and my complete surrender and trust to the universe. The more of us that do that, the more that we are creating that reality. So if you need to remind yourself 10 times a day, then do it. Put Post-its up all around your house. Whatever it is, please come back into your heart space, come back into the higher perspectives, and send love, love, love out from your heart space, from your heart chakra, out into the world. Okay, moving on. The third point in this Grand Trine is Neptune. Neptune is in the sign of Pisces. Neptune rules Pisces. Neptune is at home in Pisces. Neptune and Pisces, in its highest expressions, are the oneness, the source energy, that we are all one. Whether you are talking about a person or a ladybug or a cockroach or a leaf or the clouds or the rivers or the fire or the lava or the birds, you get where I'm going. We are all source energy. We are all one. And so lean into this Neptune energy. Meditate. Drop into your heart chakra. Open up your crown chakra. And send the love out to source to transmute all the fear. Send love out to the world. Send love to the most difficult people in your life. If you can do that, you are shifting things in such a tremendous way. Such a tremendous way. I can't even put into words how energetically healing that is for all of us. So this Grand Trine is pushing us and pulling us into our feels. Stay in a high vibration, okay? Stay in a high vibration as much as possible. Come back and listen to this video if you need to, okay? And just trust. Stay grounded in your own life. Give love where you can. Be at peace where you can. Connect with those who are also in a higher vibration and hold each other there. Okay, I want to get into the forecast now for all 12 signs. So let me just grab my pen because I need to write down the timestamps as I am recording. For Aries, this Scorpio new moon is going to be in your 8th house. The 8th house is ruled by Scorpio. And I know Aries rising people they've been in it for a while now. And I want to acknowledge and validate that for you. You are really growing and evolving at a very deep level, my Aries rising people. And so this new moon, yes, you may really be purging. You may really be seeing things come up to the surface. Because in the 8th house, this is your house. This is the house of depth. This is one of the houses of karma. This is one of the houses of death and rebirth. And so you may be really feeling like a new you is emerging. But you may have to purge some more shit to get there. I'm not going to lie. Just please know, my beautiful Aries rising, that you're going to get through it and you're going to be the phoenix. You're going to be so much more this authentic, true self that you came here to be. It's beautiful on the other side. So just please hang in there, okay? Please hang in there. Center ground. Find your higher perspective. Whatever needs to come through, let it flow through you. Let the tears come if that's necessary. And just know that a beautiful new you is emerging. Okay, for my Taurus risings, this energy, this new moon in Scorpio is happening in your 7th house of one-to-one relationships, marriage, your significant other, if you have one in your life at this time. And so Some truths may be coming out. Some rebirth may be happening. Some fears may be coming up. You just have to trust where you are on this spectrum of energy and really just face whatever it is. It can be a beautiful new rebirth in your marriage, in your significant other relationships. Remember, this could be any one-to-one relationship in your life. Could be friendships, could be work relationships, so on and so forth. And so allow the rebirth to happen, allow the truth to be revealed, and just know whatever it is coming up, feel through it. Don't push it down, let it come up, purge it, let it come out, face the truth, because the truth shall set you free, always, right? Always, always. And however you're feeling this energy, just know that you are right on time. Okay. So now we're going to move to Gemini rising. And for my Gemini risings, this is happening in your 6th house. The new moon in Scorpio, in your 6th house of work, routines, daily routines, being of service, and healing. This could be your own personal healing journey. This could be you being a healer in some capacity. This could be showing up in how you are of service to others. It could be your everyday work. And the new moon in Scorpio shining, I don't want to say shining, but going into the depths, that's really what I want to say here, is revealing something to you, right, on your healing journey this week. And so if the emotions are coming up big for you, just let it flow. Let it flow through you. Let it come out. Remember, this is a purging period. And, Geminis are of the mind. You're ruled by Mercury. But Mercury is in Scorpio now as well. And so you really might be feeling this very deeply, very emotional for you this week. Just know it's not just you, okay? This is par for the course for you this week. This is very intentional. Your higher self wants you to feel, not just be in your mind space. It wants you to investigate and go deep and really feel everything that you need to feel, because this is part of your healing journey in the 6th house. Okay? You're right on time. Beautiful energy for you. Just let it flow. There's so much water this week. I know you're used to being in your mind, but be in your emotions if you can, and let it flow through you. Okay. So now we're going to move to our Cancer rising. Now, Cancer, you may be really super duper emotional this week because you're already emotional, and all of the water this week is just like a deluge, right? It's just like a tsunami. And so what I really want for you, this is happening in your 5th house. And I actually think this is so beautiful for you, because the 5th house is creativity. The 5th house is children or your inner child. It's fun and romance. But at its core, it is creative energy. And so if you can focus on yourself as a creative being, whether that's artistically or musically or just how you see things, maybe it's your resourcefulness, maybe it is whatever creative pursuits that kind of light you up. I mean, literally, it could be like you want to try new recipes and you just want to have fun in the kitchen and be creative and creating new things in that way. Like, we're all creative beings, okay? Every single one of us. It's just, how do you see yourself as a creative being? And if you don't see yourself as a creative being, open yourself up to that this week, because it's going to flow. It's going to flow like a beautiful, I'm seeing a rainbow flooding in for you. I think this is beautiful, beautiful energy for my Cancer risings. So open up to how your creativity can flow through you now. Open up that crown chakra and see what your higher self wants to create through you. Set that intention and be open to that at this new moon. Okay, now we're at Leo rising. And for my Leos, this new moon in Scorpio is happening in your 4th house of home. It's your actual home space that you live in. It is also, the 4th house is also the mother. So that could be you as a mother or the mother in your own life. This is also our childhood conditioning in the 4th house. And so much may be coming up for you emotionally this week, my Leo risings, around your home, around your childhood family, around your mother. Just please be open to letting whatever is coming up to flow through you. Like the water that is all around us this week in the energies. And allow whatever needs to be purged to come up from the subconscious, perhaps from childhood. Just allow it. Don't question, why is this coming up now? If stuff is coming up, it's right on time. It's right on time because you're ready to face it. You're ready to release it. You're ready to let it go. Process it in a new way. Whatever it is, just allow it all. You are right on time, my beautiful Leos. Okay, now we're going to move to Virgo rising. This is happening. This Scorpio new moon is happening in your 3rd house. 3rd house is all about communication. 3rd house is ruled by Mercury. And I said earlier, Mercury is part of this Grand Trine in water in Scorpio. And so for my Virgo risings, this is going to be a push-pull between your mind and your emotions this week. And what I'm suggesting is to release the mind chatter. Allow whatever needs to be communicated from your higher self, 3rd house, communication, to flow into your crown chakra. Open up that crown chakra. Do some meditations. And Virgos, you're so beautifully grounded. So call these energies in. What do you need to see now? What do you need to feel? What do you need to process? What transformation are you ready for now? That's the Scorpio word, transformation. And so your higher self is very much wanting to communicate with you this week, my Virgo risings. Be open. Let it flow in. And if emotions need to flow out, let them flow out. Ebb and flow this week. That is your mantra. So now we move, to our Libra rising sign. For my beautiful Libra risings, this Scorpio new moon is happening in your 2nd house of value, of worth, of money, of how you make money. And Scorpio is a money sign as well, because Scorpio rules the 8th house, which shares the axis with the 2nd house. And so you may be having some realizations around your worth, around your value, around what you value in your life. Who values you? Who do you value? Are you in relationship with others who don't value you the way you feel that you should be? Does your work, if you are working, and how you make money, is that representative of your worth and of your value? All of these things may be coming up for you at this new moon in Scorpio. You may be really feeling some strong emotions, either within. I did say this is a very internal moon. So whatever is flowing, let it. Whatever is coming up, let it. Just as I said for the Gemini risings, Libra is very mercurial. It is very, it's an air sign, and so it's the mind. It's always trying to work things out in the mind. But there's so much water this week. It's really cleansing your mind, and it's wanting you to feel, okay, which may not be that comfortable for you. But allow it. Allow whatever is coming up to flow through you and out of you. Allow this purge to happen. And really, you are going to have a new sense of your worth when we're all said and done with this energy. Okay, so now we are going to move to our Scorpio risings. Scorpio rising. This Scorpio new moon is happening in your first house. It's all about you. This new moon is going to be big emotionally. Depending on where you are on the spectrum of the Scorpio energies, you may be feeling the Scorpion energy, the fears, the emotions. You may be able to see things at a higher perspective. You may be able to completely burn things down and let a new sense of yourself emerge. You may be able to tap into all of that this week. But I will guarantee that emotions will be coming up. Allow them to flow through you, because this is reworking you at a cellular level. This is reworking who you are in this life, who you came here to be, how you see yourself. The self that is out in the world, that how others perceive you, but most importantly, how you see yourself. And so whatever is coming up from the depths for you this week, my Scorpio risings, allow it. Because a beautiful new Phoenix version of you is on the other side. Stay in your own center and just know, you are the queen or the king of transformation. You've done it 1,000 times and you'll do it 1,000 more. You've got this. You've got this. Okay, let's see. For my Sag risings, here, let me just write this down here so I don't forget. This new moon in Scorpio is happening in your 12th house. And so the 12th house is the most internal, solitary house in the whole chart. So for my Sagittarius rising people, this is going to be potent. This is going to be, you're going to want to be alone. You're not going to feel social. You're going to want quiet. You're going to want to be in your own energy. I recommend that you meditate as many times a day as it will allow, that you find quiet time to be on your own, that you really allow whatever is coming up from the subconscious to come up. If you don't journal, maybe now's a great time to start. You don't have to write full sentences, just bullet point, just jot down whatever's coming up for you now, because it's going to come from the depths, the deepest depths, because it's Scorpio and it's the 12th house. And you are ready for this. You are ready to transmute. You are ready to transform. And you are purging old stuff. Old stuff may be coming up that you have completely forgotten about on a conscious level. Allow it all. This is transforming you in the most beautiful way. So please, please allow it. Okay, so now we're going to move to our Capricorn risings. And this is happening, this Scorpio new moon is happening in your 11th house of groups and communities and friendships and your hopes, dreams, and wishes for the future. So this Scorpio energy is really going to unearth for you the friendships, the groups, the communities that you're done with, you're ready to release, you're ready to move on from. They're just no longer aligned with who you are now. But that may be in the way of revealing truths. It may be into understanding why, right? Why did you need those friendships or groups at a certain time, and how you have evolved and who you are now may not match those same friendships or groups. But it's also, this new moon, new beginnings, is also really going deep into your hopes and dreams for the future, for yourself. And the truth of who you are now and who you're expanding into, and what groups and communities and friendships you're really vibrationally a match for now, and that are going to take you into your next version of yourself. They're going to support you. They're going to help expand you. This is beautiful energy for you, my Capricorns. You're very grounded, and so allow whatever emotional stuff may be coming through to come through. Allow it to come through. Allow it to flow through you. If tears come, allow it. Remember, Capricorn is the sea goat. And so while you are a grounded earth energy, you do have a depth, an emotional depth. You may hold a lot emotionally for a long time. But then there comes a point where it needs to flow out of you. It needs to be released. This may be that week. So just allow it, and just know that there is a beautiful new beginning for you, for your future self. He or she is here, and they are ready for what's next. Okay, now we're going to move to Aquarius rising, 5236. This is happening, the Scorpio new moon is happening in your 10th house of career, your most public self, your purpose. So, my Aquarius risings, look, you are about to embark, this Scorpio new moon, this Grand Trine in water, everything that's happening with Pluto moving towards your sign, you are in for a magnificent, empowered transformation. And this Scorpio new moon is, I believe, it's kind of like the kickoff to the game, okay? It is setting the car into gear, and you're about to move forward, okay? This is particularly showing up in your career, okay, in your purpose. Not everyone has a career where they go to work every day and they're getting paid for that. And so it's really who you are in the world. And so there's transformation happening here. There's transformation happening in your public persona, how people know you. Like when I was a stay-at-home mom, I was Sarah and Julia's mom. And, at the time I was married, so I was so-and-so's wife, and I was the Girl Scout leader, and I was, on the PTA and blah, 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 all the things, right? But there's transformation at this new moon in Scorpio for you. With this Grand Trine in water, you may be feeling some very big emotions around who you are in the world, how the world sees you, and in your career. And so whatever is being washed away, allow it. Allow it to just dissolve. Allow the water to clean the slate. Allow whatever emotions are coming up for you to come up. because you are transforming, and you are transforming your work situation, your career. It is going through yet another transformation at this new moon, and you will see it play out for you in the coming weeks, months, and years ahead. Big energy for you, my beautiful Aquarius risings. Okay, now we move to the Pisces rising, and that's 5514. Pisces, this Scorpio new moon is happening in your 9th house of expansion. This is magnificent. You are already water energy. You are going to be in such a flow state this week. You may be feeling a lot of emotions moving through you. Just allow it. You are the ocean. You are the depths of the ocean. You are the oneness with all. In your highest expressions, Pisces, release any victim mentality. Release any addictions, any escapism. Release all of this now, so that you may wash it away, cleanse it, transform into an even higher version of yourself. And 9th house expansion, this is expansion of your beliefs, your spirituality, your perspective on life, your connection with source. This is higher learning of all kinds, whether that is academic or that is higher learning from your higher self. Okay, I include the spiritual interpretation. And so you are going to expand into a whole new level at this new moon. So please trust the process. Please allow whatever needs to flow through you emotionally to flow, because there's a magnificent new version of you on the other side. It's going to be beautiful. Trust in the higher self guiding you this whole journey, this week in particular, and you are going to begin to see all new perspectives opening up for you. It's really beautiful energy. So that concludes the 12 signs. I really want to thank you so much for listening. Thank you for your time and your energy. Thank you for tuning in. Thank you for sharing this with anyone that you think could feel supported by this podcast. It is always my intention to empower you, to acknowledge whatever you may be going through. We're all on this journey together. You're not alone. And I want to wish you a beautiful week, but I also want to acknowledge that it may be emotional for you, for all of us really. Remember, stay in your center and stay grounded. Whatever is happening on the world stage, whatever is happening with the election, come into your heart space, meditate on peace, meditate on love. We are creating our future in every now moment. Nothing is set in stone. I am sending you so much love, so much peace, so much joy, so much magnificent transformation. And I will see you soon under the moon. Bye-bye for now.